In this video, we will be going over the Employment Letter Requirements for Curricular Practical Training, or CPT, off-campus employment authorization. There is specific information about your employment that ISS must have before we can authorize your CPT employment. We will use this information to confirm that your practical training experience meets the federal CPT requirements. This information will be entered into your CBIS I-20 record when we authorize CPT. If any of the required information is missing, your CPT request will be delayed or denied. ISS cannot authorize you for CPT until we have all of the following information. Your CPT letter must be on official company letterhead. It must include the date that the letter was issued and your name. The company can include your personal address at the top, but that is optional. The letter must include your specific employment start and end date. These will be the dates of your CPT authorization entered in your CBIS record. If this information is missing, ISS will send your CPT application back to you and ask you to upload a new letter with the specific start and end dates. The letter must include the number of hours you will work per week. CPT is authorized as part-time, 20 hours per week or less, or full-time, over 20 hours per week. Since part-time and full-time employment can have different definitions depending on employer, we do ask for the number of hours per week. Your letter must also include your position title and your position description. The position description can be a few sentences and must show how your employment is related to your major. If the description is too general, ISS will ask for a new letter or for additional documentation from your employer. Your letter must also include your work address. This is the address that you report to for work or that is listed on your pay stub. ISS will enter this into your CPT authorization in CBIS. If you are working remotely, this address cannot be your home address. If your home address is listed as your work address, ISS will contact you or your employer to ask for the correct address. The letter must include your supervisor name and contact information, including phone or email. If your supervisor has not been assigned when you submit your CPT application, you can include the name and contact information of a company representative, such as a human resources manager or recruitment manager. The letter must include a handwritten signature or authenticated digital signature from the company representative who is authorized to hire or supervise. Signatures cannot be typed, they must be handwritten or authenticated digital signatures. ISS cannot approve your CPT application if the appropriate signature is missing. Finally, the letter must include the name and title of the company representative who signed the letter. Now let's take a look at an example of a good CPT letter. As you can see, it includes all of the required information, including company letterhead, the work address, job title, and detailed job description, the specific start and end dates of employment, supervisor name, and contact information, as well as a handwritten signature, name, and title of the company representative. ISS can now review the CPT application. For comparison, let's review an example of a CPT employment letter that ISS will not accept. While this letter does include some of the required information, like company letterhead, student name, and job title, it is missing a lot of information that is required for ISS to process your CPT request. So what's missing from this request? Well, there are no specific start and end dates of employment. ISS needs these dates to authorize CPT in your CBIS record. If there are no dates in your letter, ISS will send your application back to you and ask for a new letter. Also missing from this letter are the number of hours the student will work each week, the work site address, a position description that shows how the experience is related to the student's major, and the supervisor or company representative's name and contact information. We can accept this signature as it is an authenticated digital signature. One note about this letter, it includes information about the benefits package for this position. It is okay if this type of information is included in your letter, but ISS does not need it. We will review your CPT letter for the required information. If it is missing any of that information, ISS cannot authorize your CPT. In summary, as you are preparing your CPT application materials for ISS, please pay careful attention to your CPT employment letter. Missing information on this letter is the most common reason that CPT requests are denied or delayed. Take time now to carefully review your CPT employment letter and make sure all of the required information is included before you submit your CPT application to ISS. If information is missing on your letter, please work with your employer to obtain a new letter. ISS can also accept an email or additional documentation from your employer that includes the missing information. Any email or documentation must be from an official company email address or on company letterhead and should be uploaded as a document to your CPT request in Teradata. This information and more is available on the ISS website on our CPT page, including a CPT letter template that you can share with your employer. Thank you for watching. If you have additional questions about CPT, please contact your ISS advisor.